the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And now the starting lineup for the offense.
And A.J. Green is an absolute playmaker on the perimeter for his team.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go?
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native. At quarterback, it's Baker Mayfield.
Before the game, when I said hello to him, I tried to give him a little dap, but he wouldn't give me any, and I thought he was snubbing me. But then I realized he's keeping all that flame to himself. How about the week he had last week? AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Mayfield to throw it. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him, because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
Mayfield looks to throw. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Mayfield on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Let's go.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 126 yards.
So, partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this is caught at the 8. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to... And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Mahomes. And this is caught at the 8. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A.J. Green. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally. and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Whether it's the toss or the pitch, you get him the ball outside the tackles on the edge. He's a tough man to bring down.
He certainly is, and it makes people wonder on the other side of the ball. Do I really want to deal with him when he gets a full head of steam?
Now Mayfield lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight end.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Mahomes now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Let's go.
And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And to the left side here, Wilson. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. He gets it left side to Johnson. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Chiefs on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago. And it's the Saints who are out in front. Traquan Smith, a touchdown reception. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in US Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. David Njoku and the rest of the offense heading back out onto the field. And we roll the highlights, 5 catches. Schematically, what do you do to stop a tight end like him?
You have so many different options, whether you want to play 3-deep zone, 2-deep zone. One of the ones that I think works really well is what they call 2-man. 2 guys deep in on the half-field marks, usually the safeties, but you have someone underneath that plays man-to-man against the tight end.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw, Mayfield. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Stephon Anthony picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's one of 2 Colquitts punting at our game here. This is Britton who gets the first shot. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 31.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now here's Mahomes. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing, Mayfield. Screenplay, Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. He finds his target, Beckham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield brings him up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Mayfield now from the 50. With a catch made by Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the side.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
It's caught by OBJ. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Mayfield now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On second and 10. Mayfield.
Let's go.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Mayfield and his Browns offense staring at a third and long now after the sack. Mayfield looks to throw. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mayfield down. And that is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Right back to him on first down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done it.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Browns on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Mayfield on play action. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Stephon Anthony. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Chiefs, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.